Welcome everybody to another episode of the Camper Report. It's been, I think, I think it's a day like tomorrow would be the first time in 2 weeks since 2 weeks ago I did my last show. So it's been a while. School's been really heating up, so definitely not as much time to do this. Now I want to get back on that at least once a week show schedule. I'm not sure because usually it would be Wednesdays that I would have my regular show once a week, or that would be a for sure day. Now I'm not actually sure. It should be Wednesdays or Tuesdays again, but we'll see. So I want to be back once a week, and I'll make time for it. Love talking to you guys. I'm not with a guest this week, but I have one all 22 film that I want to break down, and I want to break down a few aspects of this game. If I'm not mistaken, I do have the link in the description for you guys to call in. I'm just looking real quick here. Yes, I do. Okay, so, well, actually, I do not. So I will post the link in the chat for you guys to call in. I forgot to put the link in the description, so I'm gonna have to do that. But I can quickly post the link here for you guys to call in. But I hope you guys are having a great Friday night. I mean, a lot to talk about. I will start though soon. Well, I will start. My first topic will be the Trey Lance thing because obviously everyone knows that he got injured and it's tough. But I do want to give my quick rant because even though it is kind of old news, I do want to say something about Kyle Shanahan. So I just posted this in the comments. 1-800 call Benji. Yeah, I just posted in the comments. I don't know if they'll show up, but hopefully you guys can call in. Anyways, I want to give my quick rant on Trey Lance. It's what does his future hold? Because this could potentially be, let's see here. Yeah, okay. So this could be potentially a big thing for his future. I think when you're talking about this next year, it's interesting that the 49ers are already shutting him down, even though one doctor said it would be 11 to 12 weeks. I think personally that's a good idea because it's a long way away. He could have setbacks. You don't want to say he's coming back and then he never does. So I think what they're doing, saying that he's out for the season, is kind of smart. I mean, that's 3 months away. A lot could change through then. They're just saying that. But I think for his future now, second year, next year is going into his third year. And you've heard a lot of people say this, but that's going to postpone his his development even more. And that's tough because he hasn't played a lot of games. And so that's going to postpone his development. And now you're looking at year 3 of Trey Lance. And I'm starting to question whether Kyle Shanahan, and I think a lot of you guys, that was a lot of question on everyone's mind, whether Kyle Shanahan, don't give us the rant, don't do it. I just want to quickly touch on this. Whether Kyle Shanahan is able to coach this guy. And personally, I think this injury is huge because you're wasting another year of the Trey Lance window. So for his future, it's not looking great because these type of things, especially early in his career, he's not established. It's tough. It puts the 49ers in a tough situation as well because now it puts them in a tough situation because you are now, your Super Bowl window is not open as much. You're in year 3. He wasted another year of development. So really, and it also, if you did want to trade him, it ruins his stock. So his stock and everything just goes down, and you're in a bad situation. The thing is I want a coach that isn't going to run him into, and maybe that's I want a coach that isn't going to run him into the ground. But maybe Kyle Shanahan's thoughts were, hey, maybe Kyle Shanahan we know Kyle Shanahan is a control freak. Maybe Kyle Shanahan's the type of dude that was like, hey, I don't know how much I trust him. I'm just going to do what I know best, and I'm going to run him. But it's not a great idea. And we saw in that Bears game, he did have some flashes. So I'm not sure why he did that. And it's always going to be a huge mystery to me. Now, how bad would Kyle Shanahan have to do to be like on the? I don't think he's getting fired after this season, even though I'm starting to have my questions about it. It's just that maybe you want after this year, I think like 9-8. If he goes 9-8, 10-7, I think you automatically have to be on the hot seat, especially when you injured this. I mean, you injured his future going forward. So his future, I don't know. I think you come back next season and it's not looking great for him. But if he can come back at the end of this season, that's the big question: is if he can come back at the end of this season, would the 49ers be able to? Would they let him play, or would they stick with Jimmy? That's going to be the huge one. Let me see if I can post this in the description because it didn't do anything in the comments. I didn't actually. I said okay. There you go. Let's see if I can save this. Nah. Okay. Well, I was planning to have a call-in show, but I guess that's not going to happen. So anyways, his future is tainted, but let's go on to the 49ers versus Broncos matchup. And this is huge because I think I actually wrote this down as a loss. I said that we would start off 2-2. I was confident that the Broncos would do it, but it's turning out to me that the Broncos actually aren't like Russell Wilson. I asked, and I believe it was Grandizer a few weeks ago with Squabo says, shout out him, says, is Russell Wilson the same person? And Squabo said no. And I was like, okay, like we'll see. It was before week 1. It was right before the week 1 game. I'm inclining to believe about Squabo. Now, I think part of the reason why he's doing so badly is because his coach, I don't know, he's made some questionable calls. I had not before he got he wasn't a big name in the candidate, like before he got hired by the Broncos, he wasn't a big name. Nobody, like, I didn't know about him really. And so that was a weird move. And you question his ability to lead people. Also, it's a new system. He's only 2 weeks through. So it's obviously a little too early to evaluate Russell Wilson's performance so far. But let's get to the top matchups. I'm getting into a rabbit hole here because I'm going to get into that later. I'm going to get into Russell Wilson later. But let's get to the top matchup. Number 1, Pat Surtain is out. So that's huge. Now, they have their second corner, Ronald Darby. He's good because I'll bring up a stat for you. He's allowed 6 targets. He's had 6 targets last week, and he only allowed 2 catches for 24 yards, which is very good. Actually, this was between both of the weeks, Texans and Seahawks. So Ronald Darby's doing good, but Pat Surtain's most likely out. He didn't practice today. Neither did Jerry Jeudy. That's tough. And the thing that worries me the most is now, like, I know Ronald Darby might be pretty good, but now you have Brandon Ayuk most likely versus a backup corner. So that's one place that we could attack versus the Broncos that I think that could give us a big advantage. Number 2, I got Bradley Chubb versus Trent Williams. Now, this is not so much of a matchup for me because I think Trent Williams will win it. But if you put Bradley Chubb on the other side next to Mike McGlinchey, that is something that the 49ers have to game plan for. And that's something that we need to consider. So that's another matchup. Let's see here. Bosa versus Garrett Bull, and really the whole defensive line in general, because I think the 49ers defense, like, except from that second half in the Bears game, that defense was, oh my gosh, insane. Like, that second half was really bad, but the first half was really good. So far, this team has looked pretty good except from that second half in the Bears game. And we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, they haven't played two good teams. Seahawks and Bears aren't that good. But this is a big prove-it game for the 49ers defense. I think they're dominant either way. I think they're going to give up some points. But the one thing that is really important to keep in mind is the Broncos defense, the last two games, 0-4 in red zone trips. So they haven't had a good red zone. They really haven't been able to convert in the red zone. That bodes well for the 49ers. And I think if you can get to Russell Wilson, he's already not doing good already. This Broncos offensive line is not very good. The 49ers defense has been very dominant. This team could be it. I think this team could put the Broncos away in the first half if we play our cards right. Let's get to some comments though. As always, Grandizer coming in. That's great. Regular of the show. Shout out to him. We were talking about this on a mean show that I believe that came in when I was talking about Trey Lance's future. There was a debate. Whose fault is it with Trey Lance? Does Kyle get the blame for playing Trey when he is not ready? The way Jimmy G was treated, that was very disrespectful. Yeah, I just think I'm kind of seeing where Jimmy Garoppolo is coming from. He wasn't treated the best, and Trey Lance isn't treated the best. And that's one leadership quality of a coach that I think Andy Reid and Pete Carroll for a while now. He ran Russell Wilson out of town, but Pete Carroll for a while, and a lot of good coaches have. And that's one thing that John Harbaugh might not be the best at, but he's good with Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson's going to sign there next year. I really do. I think he's just doing this for leverage, whatever. He's testing the market. But I think John Harbaugh has overall been really good with his quarterbacks and developing him. And John Harbaugh with the Ravens has found that sweet spot of, okay, we know we have a running quarterback. And so he's found that strength of his quarterback that he can use. I just think that, the Ravens don't run a similar scheme to this. They run an outside zone. They don't put Lamar Jackson between the tackles, because I guarantee you, if you put Lamar Jackson between the tackles, he would get killed. He would. So I don't know. And another thing, it also brings me back to Jim Harbaugh as well. So Jim Harbaugh is the guy on the Ravens. John Harbaugh, Michigan. He's for Michigan. Right now, Michigan is having a quarterback, a little bit of a quarterback controversy. And it brings me back to the 49ers right now. At Michigan, they have J.J. McCarthy versus Cade McNamara. And he started Cade McNamara last year, and we went on to win the Big Ten championship. We made it to the Final Four. We made it to the college football playoffs, got blown out. And so you'd think on that Michigan team, there'd be a lot of ties to McNamara, and there probably were, but John Harbaugh realized who was the better player, and he started J.J. McCarthy. At the beginning of this season, we're, I think, 3 weeks through now. I think we're entering week 4, and J.J. McCarthy's now the full-time starter. At first, it was a competition. Now J.J. McCarthy's the full-time starter. The way John Harbaugh has handled this situation with J.J. McCarthy and Cade McNamara, he doesn't have regrets. He doesn't care what the team thinks. He's going to start who's best. And in this case, it's J.J. McCarthy. So I would take a little bit from Jim Harbaugh. Why do I keep getting them mixed up? Anyways, I would take a little bit from the Harbaugh brothers and maybe learn from what they've done, because they have handled quarterback situations well, in my opinion. Put your cell phone number on the screen. We can call him that way. That's a good idea. Hold on a second. That is a good idea. I'm going to do that. And then I can just hold it up. Yeah, I can do that. I mean, hopefully I don't get scammers, but that's a pretty good idea. I'm a small enough channel to where not that many people are watching me. It's not that big deal. So I will do that. Let's see, 970 318 9190. Hold on. Let me go to there we go. Okay, so that is my number. If you guys will, just call into that. I'll answer. That's my number. This should be a lot of fun. So, yeah. So let's get to the keys to the game. I think a big key to this game is Russell Wilson. I already said he's not doing that bad. I'll bring up some specific stats for him. Last week against a pretty mediocre Texans defense, I wouldn't say it's the worst because they do have Jerry Hughes, a really good pass rusher in defense, but 66.4 just a passer rating, 1 TD to 1 INT, 219 yards. Not that great. Not that great. I think his coach, it's going to take a while for him to warm up to his coach, but it's not that great. Eh, I don't know, man. I think the 49ers defense is going to be able to dominate. The thing that is key, and I touched on this earlier, is Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy not playing in this game. Last week, you had 11, a huge majority of the targets went to Courtland Sutton. That's huge because Sutton, again, I think 4 other targets went to any other receiver. So really, Courtland Sutton took up 2/3 of the targets from Russell Wilson. So now that Jerry Jeudy is out, there's no other, basically the 49ers can zone in on Courtland Sutton. And that's another big matchup for my game, for this game is Ward versus Sutton. Charvarius Ward versus Sutton. That's going to be huge. And if you can shut him down, really the run game is good. I mean, you look at the run game, and I believe Javonte Williams, 4.7 yards per carry last week. They have a good run game. But the 49ers, against 2 bad teams, mind this, against 2 bad teams, so not great, against 2 bad teams, have last week their longest run was 8 yards, the Seahawks' longest run. So they've done really good. They've done good at shutting down bad teams. We'll see. This is definitely a lot better running backs. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, both really good running backs. So it's going to be tough, but at the same time, I think our defense is equipped to handle this. And I don't think the Broncos are going to have much of a passing game in this one. And again, no Jeudy. And I think the next highest, I think Hamler is injured as well. So there's not too many weapons on this offense. But yeah, so that's some keys to this game. I do want to look at some film though real quick before, if anybody wants to call in, there is my number on the screen. That should be right there. So just call whenever you guys feel free. I'll be here to take callers anytime, man. Okay, so let's see here. Talanoa Hufanga. This should not get taken off because this is on my NFL Plus account, and I don't think it would. So hopefully it doesn't. But I want to go back to that interception that Talanoa Hufanga had against the Seahawks. And well, not the one that he had, but the one that the safety that we signed a few weeks ago had, and it's where Talanoa Hufanga batted the ball up in the air. So you see here, let's wait until, okay. So I want to skip this back and then, how can I get the mouse out of the way? Whatever. So yeah, you see here, Talanoa Hufanga right here, and he's covering Tyler Lockett, which is a bold move. The mistake that Geno Smith makes is, as this play, so the guy who made the interception is right over here. He's reading the quarterback's eyes. He's over the top. That was good by 31. I can't remember his name at the just right now, but how can one reach you if you don't have Twitter or Instagram? I had a Seahawks fan who wanted to collab with the 49ers. She lives in Australia. I do have Twitter. The camper, actually, I should probably put that in my name. Hold on. Camper one. I do have Twitter, so go follow me on that. I'll quickly let me get this off the screen real quick. Camper One Report right there. Go follow me on Twitter, and the link is also in my bio, in the description and my bio for my channel. So yes, you can reach me on Twitter. So I don't know where you got that. I should probably display it more on the screen while I'm live streaming, just because you guys get to know it. Usually it's just the Camper Report, but yes, that is my Twitter. So anyways, the safety there reads the quarterback's eyes. He's playing over the top towards, I believe it was DK Metcalf at the beginning of that play. But then he realizes, okay, he's going to Tyler Lockett. Talanoa Hufanga, who's originally one-on-one versus Tyler Lockett. What can I say? He's all over the place. He, I mean, just an absolute ball hawk. He tips that up in the air. We'll look at that play again over the top. He's right here. And Lockett is up there as well. And then he makes a good play on the ball. Stays under. He undercuts that route. Stays under it. Doesn't go over the top. Undercuts that route. And this guy, what can I say? He's just a really instinctual player that makes a ton of plays. As long as he doesn't blow coverages, him and Jimmy Ward are going to be scary. And I'm glad we signed that ex-Bears safety, that veteran, because he's pretty good too. And he fills in, he's good for now while Jimmy Ward is tending to that injury. But Talanoa Hufanga has been making plays. He's all over the place all the time. It's really good. I don't have Twitter or Instagram. Oh, okay. So my email is all lowercase camper. Hold on, I can put that on the screen. Let's see here. Hold on. If anyone wants to call in, feel free to do it now. That's my number. I can't, for some reason, post the link, which is stupid, but I can basically just get your guys' call and hold it up to the mic. So if anyone wants to call in, that is my number, 970-318-9190. And then this is my email that you can that you can contact me on. And I check my email regularly, so shouldn't be that much of a problem. Let's see, .com. Boom. So that is my email. So let me see here. That is my email, campersports11@gmail.com. All lowercase. That is it. So feel free to do that anytime you want. I can put that up here and then that down there. So anyone want to call in, just call my phone. I can put you guys up to the mic. But I'm going to try to post this link again. Copy to clipboard. Because I don't know why it's not. I forgot to post it before the stream, and it doesn't let you post it while you're doing the stream. So in the description. So I'm going to try to post it on my live chat right here. Paste. It should be good to go. Let me know if you guys see a link to call in for if you guys wanted to. Okay, so let's get to some of the comments. What's up, Faithful? Bryant Culp. He's a regular as well. Again, guys, once again, I will have regular shows either on Tuesday or Wednesday, once a week. So I've been a little bit dormant for 2 weeks, but it should be, the content should be rolling out. And again, I think the 49ers are, like, my score prediction for this game versus the Broncos, I would say I think the 49ers are going to let them hang around. I think the only way we lose this game, and I think this could very well happen, is we've seen this in some Kyle Shanahan games where the first few drives are great. We score. We are blowing them out. And then the second half becomes very mediocre. Our offense doesn't move the ball. And especially with, like, we saw it in week 1. We saw it last year, is we start off, the first few drives are really strong. We're firing. And then second half, we're dormant. And the team catches up. I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to hold on to it. I'm going to say a pretty high-scoring game, 24-21. But we are on the road versus the Broncos. I do think that one advantage, even though Kyle Shanahan isn't the greatest decision maker, he's a way better play caller than Nathaniel Hackett. And that is purely the reason why I think we win this game. And I also think, I think we'll I think we'll start off firing, and then the second half we'll slow down a little bit. But you can't I think the only reason why we lose this game is if we let him hang around and Russell Wilson strikes. Here's the thing, though. If they're down 17 points, if the Broncos are down 17 points, I just talked about how they won't have Jerry Jeudy, and the next best receiver doesn't get targeted. I think the targets, except from Sutton got 11 targets, 7 catches. The targets except from Sutton, I believe, to any other receiver, I think 4 other targets. Russell Wilson targeted the other receivers 4 times, except from Courtland Sutton. So that's not great. So you shut him down, and this offense. So if the Broncos are down by like 10 points late and they have to throw the ball, who's to say that they won't mess it up? I don't know. This is a prove-it game for Russell Wilson as well, because he hasn't really played too great all season long. Like I said, 60 quarterback passer rating last game. Not great. And I can look up at his exact stats right here. His exact stats, 49ers versus Texans. I can look that up. Not 49ers versus Texans, Broncos versus Texans. He was 14 for 31. So, that's not great. Yeah, so I don't know, man. The run game's very good. 15, like Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 75 yards, 5 yards per carry. Melvin Gordon, 10 carries, 4.7 yards per carry. He had 47 yards or something like that. And I think their run game, though, hasn't been great either, because last game, the Broncos, I believe the Texans, the thing is the Texans didn't, of course, their coaching wasn't that great, so they didn't run the ball a ton. But the Texans, when they did run it, they ran it, I believe, 18 times, and they averaged 4.7 yards per carry. The week before, they allowed Seahawks running backs, their top running back, which I believe was Penny, to have 5 yards per carry. So the Broncos, so far, their run defense hasn't been that great, which is a problem because, well, for them, it's a problem, but it's a good thing for the 49ers because that means we can run it down their throat, and that will be great. So that's something that I think we should all be looking forward to, because we could potentially win this game off of just running the ball. And they're missing their number 1 cornerback. Awesome. I sometimes find other content creators who want to do a pregame collab with 49ers for that upcoming game. Yeah. Hey, tell her to hit me up. I would love to do a show with her. Now, Australia. My dad was actually from Australia, lived there for 20 years, was born in the Netherlands, and moved to Australia, lived there for 20 years, met my mom, and then they migrated here. I have a lot of ties to Australia, but that's interesting because there's a huge time difference. So, we'd have to figure something out. It would be weird. 3 keys to beating the Broncos. Devil's advocated question. 3 keys for the Broncos to upset the 49ers. 3 keys, run the ball, because the Broncos last 2 weeks haven't been great. I think if you get to Russell Wilson, he doesn't. Get up, I think the 49ers have to start. Like I said, the 49ers, the only reason, I think this is the only reason why the 49ers will, I said this before, the only reason why the 49ers will lose this game is if the 49ers, if they start off too fast and then they become dormant in the second half. I could see that going the other way. I think you have to start off somewhat fast, because this team is, I think if you get up on the Broncos, Courtland Sutton's great, but other than him, they don't really have any other receivers. So, and Jerry Jeudy's out. So you start off really quickly, you force the Broncos to pass the ball early, and then you're going to be playing at an advantage all game long. So that's one key. Getting after Russell Wilson, whatever, that's another key. And then offensively, I think if you just run the ball and give it to Debo, I think they're going to go back to their old bread and butter. And then obviously, I mean, the Broncos are definitely a little bit weak with no Surtain. And then 3 ways we lose. Oof. We don't shut down Surtain. We let them run all over us with their really good running backs with Gordon, Williams. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. And then I could definitely see the 49ers have always done this with bad teams as well, is they always start off so fast, like I said, and then they just kind of drop off, and those bad teams and the defense gets tired, and then the bad team gets a little bit of the momentum, and in the fourth quarter, you have a completely flipped game. And that can be achieved by Kyle Shanahan. If the run game is working, then keep running the freaking ball. So don't go away from that. That's a big thing is Kyle Shanahan against the Bears. There were some things that he went away from. He went away from running the ball in that game. He went away from really what worked in that game. And he started kind of in the second half switching things up, and it didn't work. So you have to stick to what's working, and I believe in that. Obviously, it's always running the ball. And if Nathaniel Hackett doesn't make changes at halftime to stop the run, then don't stop doing it. That's my advice. Ben, you live in Colorado, yes? Are you going to the 49ers game? That's a funny story because I was actually going to go to that game, and I had a major. So I run. I do cross country, and I don't have a. Well, I do. That's another thing is I have a meet tomorrow. So for cross country, so that would kind of conflict of when I would be able to get up to Denver to see that game. But another thing is I had a chiropractor because my hip was all thrown out of place or whatever. So I had a chiropractor appointment. That ended up costing a lot of money for which I paid for. And so I was saving up that money to go to the 49ers Broncos game, but this was more important. So I didn't ever end up getting to go, which kind of bums me out because but the other thing is, like, this was a once in like 8 years they play each other, unless it's in the playoffs. So this was a big game. This is a once in almost 10 years type of thing, unless they play each other in the playoffs. But another thing is the ticket prices, man, are freaking expensive, man. They're like the cheapest ticket. Now, I could look it up right now, and it would probably be cheaper. But when I was looking, the cheapest ticket was like $250 for one ticket, for one ticket. I can look it up for where I find tickets. I find vividseats.com. So if you guys want to go, vividseats.com, you can get cheaper tickets for basically anything, sports, and it gives you better deals. So I would go check out vividseats.com. That's a great place to look. That's where we get all of our tickets for everything. So let's see. I guess okay, the cheapest ticket is $145 each. That's still pretty. I mean, that's not great. I am excited about the game. I think Robbie Gould might have an opportunity at a long field goal. Yes. Hopefully. He hasn't really had a lot of work these last few weeks. Sorry to hear that. I hope you heal up soon. Good luck in your cross-country meet tomorrow. Yeah, we had one canceled actually today, a cross-country meet, and that would have actually allowed me to get up to Denver tomorrow and see that and get situated and then go to the 49ers game the next day. But it kind of corresponds with the 49ers game because we're going up to Craig, I believe, tomorrow for a cross-country meet. What's your Cash App or Venmo? I don't know if I really want to give that to you. I'm not sure if you could steal my identity that way, but that's the ticket prices are getting out of hand. Yeah, they are. I remember used to be able to get like a pretty cheap ticket for like $60. Now that was in North Carolina. Ticket prices are like, that's not as nice of a stadium. Denver Stadium is a historical stadium, whatever. But yes, ticket prices are very expensive. expensive. I'm about to buy you a ticket. Man, that's very generous of you, but I just think that my parents, for one, would have to drive me up there a little last minute. And if anyone is near the Denver area, I believe John Chapman, shout out him, is having is in a sports bar having a meetup, and you can basically buy tickets for this sports bar and go join him and Frank Gore and hang out with them, I believe, for the game. So go check that out. That should be a lot of fun. I think the tickets are already closed. I think he's already done selling them for that game, but I was considering going to that sports bar, hanging out with Frank Gore. That would have been a lot of fun as well. So if nobody wants to call in, my number's right there. Let's see here. I can put it up bigger. Right there. 970-318-9190. I can only really stay on for like 5 minutes longer because I have to go have dinner with my family. Friday nights are big for us. We have family time. But so yeah, if anyone wants to call in, just do that. I can put you guys up to the mic. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance I forgot to put the link in the description before this, and it won't let you do it midstream. And then when I try to post the link in the chat with my phone, it doesn't work with that either. So it's kind of a pain in the rear because I can't give you guys any way to watch my stream. But hey, guys, we've had quite a bit. I do love over the past few weeks, no, probably month and a half now, I've had a lot more supporters during my live streams, no matter who I'm with, no matter what. Like, it used to be 2-3 people watching during live streams, no matter who the guest was. Now it's 7-8 people. So thank you guys, and just a lot more support, and a lot more. And obviously, I don't do it for the fans. You know, Grant Cohn, shout out him, said like a few months, or like he still says, it doesn't matter if you have 3 people. It matters what you're preaching to them, what you're saying to them. It doesn't matter. You can be terrible at talking to 100,000 people and really good at talking to 3 people. So, but thank you for the support that you guys have been showing over the last few months, because it means a lot. Ben, who is the player of the game for the 49ers in the win over the Broncos? Score predictions. I'm going to say 24-21. I think we do start off really fast, but then in the second half, we slow things down, we let them hang around, and the game comes down really close. That's what I think will happen. Who is the player of the game? Ooh, I'm going to say defense and offense, because I think Nick Bosa's, you know what? I'm going to say something different. I do think Nick Bosa will eat versus Bowles, but I do think that I believe that it's going to be Talanoa Funga. I think he's going to have a really good game. He already has been having an insane year. Yeah, Hufanga for sure. I understand, homie. Let's root on these boys. Defense gotta come hard this week. Oh, and then for the offense, yeah, I totally agree with you. Riddy Music, if you're still in this chat, welcome, because I don't actually ever think I've seen you before. So salute to you. I might have seen you, but if you are a new time guest on this show, shout out Riddy Music. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Thank you for hopping on, joining in. For the offense, the player of the game for me has got to be, I'm going to say Debo. I think when the game gets tough, I think especially with Jimmy Garoppolo, it's going to get, and especially since they don't have Pat Surtain, it's going to be one of those receivers. Now, big key for this game, George Kittle is coming back. I didn't mention that before, but yeah, George Kittle's probably coming back. He's been hinting at it. Big Ben, C. Yee. Yes, let's go. Celts Chronicles in here. Yee, enjoy your family dinner. Thoughts Jimmy Garoppolo cooking versus the Broncos. I think he's going to have a pretty moderate game. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think he will do pretty good, because I think that defensive line for the Broncos is good, but Pat Surtain's a huge loss for them. It really is. And I think their offense is going to be, I don't know. It's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to come down really close. When you are able to have a regular time you go on, you'll get more people love if they know ahead of time when you'll go live. Yeah, and I was doing that for like probably for almost a month. I was doing Wednesday shows. I would do a Wednesday show most of the time, Wednesday or Tuesday show most of the time. And I completely agree with you, Grandizer. Most of the time, Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday show. And then if I did have time, I'd go on again on Saturday. And that was a huge thing for me. And I did get a lot of people tuning in during that time. I will try to do those type of things. I'll try to do a once a week show. Again, school's been busy, but I will try to get down to that consistent basis once again. And I should be able to on Wednesdays. It should be either Wednesdays or Tuesdays. I will call, but I'm grabbing a pizza right now. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Go get some. Thanks for making time for us, Ben. We'll be in touch with you via your email. Yes. 49er fan since the 80s, seen it all. Love to see the positive and passion for the 49ers. Keep doing your thing. Let's go. Thank you for the encouragement. And yeah, longtime Niners fan. Nice to see. We'll just get these last comments. Keep grinding, and you need a schedule so people know. Yeah, obviously. Yep. Thank you for the advice, man. Yes. And I did have a little bit of a schedule going there, but it's tough, man. Yes, have a great dinner. Good luck to your 49ers. You guys need a good pack mule. Use the Broncos as a pack mule. Oh, and by the way, Grandizer, congrats on the Dolphins win. That was incredible. That game was incredible. Hopefully you guys have I do want to kind of brief the NFL games this week. Dolphins are playing Bills. That's a huge week for you guys. Good luck on that one, man. Let's hope Tua can keep that leading TD score going. Some good matchups this week. Chiefs versus Colts. Chiefs will probably destroy them. Rams versus Cardinals. Packers versus Buccaneers. That's huge. Not a great slate this week, but we do have like Ravens versus Patriots. The Ravens should kill the Patriots. Not a great slate. There's like three good games. Yeah, so we'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your guys' night. And yeah, man, this has been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Thank you to everyone in the comments. Thank you for the viewers in this stream. 49ers Sunday, and I should be back either next Tuesday or Wednesday. So keep that on your guys' calendar. I will be back next Tuesday or Wednesday with a guest, but this has been a ton of freaking fun. Let's get it. Fins up all day, every day, and twice up on game day. Yes. Peace. Okay, let's get it, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for hanging out with me. Riddy Music says run all over Denver. Yeah. Okay, well, I'll see you guys. Have a good rest of your night.